All right, hey, what's going on, y'all? It is about 11:30 on Sunday afternoon, getting ready to go pick up Damon, head over to the flip. We got like about an hour's worth of work we're gonna do over there. Really just clean up, make sure everything's in tip-top condition because we do have the appraisal upcoming. And for any of you who don't know, I've been made aware that this appraiser doesn't like flipped houses. In fact, he's been quoted as saying, you know, I don't understand how somebody can buy a house for a low price, think that they can fix it up and sell it for a higher price. Dude, what are you talking about? This has been going on since the beginning of time. And not everybody who's doing a flip is gonna be doing, you know, a half-assed, mediocre job. I put $57,000 into this house after buying this damn thing. I know what I got. And I hope that he just gives me a fair appraisal. So we'll see. That's gonna be upcoming. That's the reason why we're going over here on a Sunday. And in other news, hey, how about that house we went and checked out yesterday? Now, crazy enough, I've already messaged the realtor and told her, hey, look, thanks for letting me see it, but no dice. Well, last night I'd be at a hockey game and my investor friend would hit me up and say, hey, Joe, what do you say we give it a go? To a certain degree. He thinks it's doable. And I kind of think that it's doable as well too, if it can be purchased for the right price. A lot of people said, Joe, offer $5, you know, offer 50,000, 60, 70. And that's what we're thinking, right? Of course, yeah, if we can get the house for $70,000, $80,000, maybe there's something there. Is this person gonna wanna sell, or whoever owns this house gonna wanna sell this thing for almost half less than what they've got it listed for? They've got it listed for what, 145? My thinking on that is they bought the house for around $70,000, $75,000 and they've got about that much into it. Maybe not. Maybe they only got about 50 into it. Maybe they're still trying to see a profit. If they bought it for 70 and they put 50 in it, that's only 120, and you're turning around still trying to see a profit? Nah, stick. I'm thinking they probably got about 50 in that thing. You know, especially considering the fact you didn't use any real contractors. So if that's the case, I mean, no matter what the case is, actually, you're never even gonna get that. You're not gonna get 120 for that house. You're not gonna get 100. I don't care if it's a lowball offer, what it's gonna be considered. Is anybody else offering on that house? No. And if they are, they're gonna come in the same. And for the same reasons. One, it's not even a guarantee that this is doable. Outside of the price, even if they agreed to sell the house for $70,000 or $80,000, outside of that, how far gone is this thing really? I mentioned all of the furred out framing underneath on the first floor. Legitimately, I feel like that was done because they put an addition up top. All that brand new framing that's taking place upstairs, the brand new joist and that brand new subfloor, I don't even think that that was there. And if it was, I don't honestly know. I feel like they literally had to do that framing to shore up that second story. People mentioned maybe because of the insulation that was needed to be put in there and the R value and how it's thicker, or maybe mention of termite damage is why that was taking place. No matter what it was done. There was a shit ton of framing that was done in that house with no permits. And it looks like shit. You can't even open the front door all the way because of that furred out framing. The electrical panel box is damn near covered up by one of those crooked studs. And that's only the tip of the iceberg in there. Everything's gonna require permits. You're gonna need to get a building permit, number one, an electrical permit, number two, plumbing, which there's plumbing that hasn't even been ran for some of those bathrooms in there. You're gonna need to get a mechanical permit for that HVAC system. And that right there is gonna probably run you about $50,000 just for all of that. And if the city requires a structural engineer to go in there and sign off on that framing that's done, or to make sure that that property is structurally sound, more thousands of dollars right there. The city could require all of that work to be torn out. So there's a lot of variables that go into this thing. But then again, maybe they won't require the structural engineering aspect of it. If you can get the framing squared away, an electrical contractor to get up in there and to understand what they were trying to do, the HVAC squared away, the plumbing, the plumbing's gonna be a job in itself, but if you can do all of that, yeah, maybe it's doable. So not only go in there and try to offer $75,000 after you realize that it can be permitted and it can be corrected, then you also have to write into the contract as is completely. Meaning, if I'm buying this, bitch, you ain't touching nothing up in that house. Them windows are staying, them vanities are staying, them tubs are staying. You're gonna leave everything in that house that's brand new. Everything in there's got to stay. That's got to be written up in the contract as well. So, you know, it is what it is. If you can get that damn house for 75, you're probably going to put 75 to 100,000 into it. You're going to be into it for 175. Turn around, does it sell for 220? You're gonna have to come in less than 100. But yeah, you could probably do something with it. I don't know what the roof looks like because it was snow on the roof. I didn't get a chance to see the shingle conditions. I haven't seen the haven't seen the crawl or what the foundation of that joint actually looks like. There's a lot of things that are definitely debatable and still up in the air and major question marks with it. But I share all of this with you to let you know, hey, what do you say? We're at least gonna entertain it. I'm gonna call my guy at the city tomorrow and I'm gonna say, hey, look, what's it gonna take to get this right? Is it fixable? Is it fixable? Because let me tell you like this. I make no illusions when I say $50,000 just to get on the right side of the permits. 50,000 easy. That electrical is gonna be 10 grand. And let me tell you something, maybe 7, but also written up into the contract, the offer, I'm gonna want you to disclose who did the electrical and who did that HVAC. I need to know, I need to be in contact with those people, because when I bring in my electrical contractor, I want that guy right there, even if I got to pay him to be there, so that he can walk through with my new electrical contractor and say, hey, look, this is what we've got going on. Because they have to pay an electrical company to come in and try to figure out that mess. That's a mess. And then for the HVAC, same situation. So we'll see. I'm over at the storage unit right quick. Hey now, I ain't been over here in a minute. And gonna grab a couple of things. I don't even remember what I need, like a broom and a dustpan. And then head over to the flip, pick up Damon, head over to the flip, do a little bit, and then enjoy this Sunday, because we got pre-Super Bowl football on today. Who you got? I'm going 49ers, Bengals. That's who I'd like to see, 49ers, Bengals. But it's probably going to be the exact opposite of that. All right, let me grab some things, go get Damon, and I'll see you guys over at a flip house that was done correctly. Oh, there's nothing funny. All right, hey, guess what? Leaving from the flip house, going to Lowe's. You guessed it. I need a paintbrush, just one little paintbrush, and well, I don't got one, so I got to go get one. And basically, just want to touch up a couple little things. I mean, being meticulous. So I don't know if I shared a story with you guys. I'll share a story with you real quick about this particular appraiser gentleman. Very nice guy, who just for whatever reason, he doesn't like flipped houses. And who's to blame him? As an appraiser, I'm sure he's probably seen his fair share of some bullshit. But the story goes that you know, my realtors have dealt with this guy before, and supposedly he came back with a low appraisal on a property that they had. Now, I don't know what the reason for that was. Was it the condition of the property? Was it maybe, was it a flip? Was it the work that was done in there? Was it ambitious price tag? Like, I don't honestly know. But the deal is that with the type of a loan that our buyer has, which is the VA loan, that is the one loan that you cannot, as a seller, say, hey, look, I don't like that appraiser. Give me a different appraiser. With a conventional, an FHA, those type of loans, you can say that and they'll be like, yeah, sure, no problem. But the VA, they don't do that. They don't play. You get the appraiser that you get, and it's just a luck of the draw, basically. My luck. Just as with our type of a loan that our buyer has, and the fact that you can't change the appraiser. Well, with the other type of loans, if that appraisal comes back unsatisfactory to the seller, those other type of loans will not allow you to rebuttal and ask for a reconsideration, basically. But with the VA, you can do that. So when my realtors tell me, hey, look, we've dealt with this guy before, you know, he doesn't like flippers, and he gave us a low appraisal the one time that we've dealt with this guy, I said, okay, well, what did you do? Did you rebuttal it? Like, what was the end result? And they said, yeah, we rebuttaled it, and it didn't change anything. And I said, oh boy. So basically what happened, where we are right now is, ain't nothing we can do except see how it all plays out. Now, if it comes back and it is jacked up, the only option that we have at that point, I mean really jacked up, the only option that we have at that point is to just say, hell nah, we're not selling the house for that price. Do I think we're gonna get what we've got the house listed for in the appraisal? We got the house listed for $256. Are we gonna get a $256 appraisal? I hope so. But if we don't, I would at least hope we'd get a $250. I can live with $250. I can live with $250. So we'll see. Like I said, I gotta go to Lowe's right now. It's critically important that I get a paintbrush. That's it, just a paintbrush. Damon's over there cleaning up the garage for me. Ladders are frozen. Everything is frozen. Shit, the paint's gonna be frozen. I didn't even think about that. Son of a bitch, the paint's gonna be frozen. Hope we're able to use this paintbrush. That's all I gotta say. All right, go do that and share more in a little while. All right, freezing outside. Got the ski gloves on, and Damon's out there helping me get some things cleaned up out back, the garage cleaned up, and basically we're just trying to get inside cleaned up as well. A couple of things to get up out of here. The vacuum, that curtain rod that fell down, probably gonna need to put that back up, and yeah, that's really about it. Sweep these floors up. Yeah, that's really about it, man. Sweep these floors up. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, so making quick work of it, short work of it, whatever you want to call it, and be done with it. Be done with it. There we go. All right, let's get this finished and get up out of here. Well, I figured it's been a while since we've done a little eat and talk. Oh God, I gotta reach across the table like a political person to reach that right there. Get a better shot. Don't know, oh, that's my jacket right there. Yeah. So let's eat and talk. How about it? It's breakfast time, Monday morning. The most important meal of the day, breakfast. Nice glass of milk too. That's good. I got the doggies right down here wanting treats. I can't give them no treats though. I bought some different treats, and we give the dogs a lot of treats. I bought these different ones and they messed up Louie's stomach. His stomach is so sensitive. So I'm sorry, you guys. I know you're looking at me so sad right now. There were just 60 dogs that were rescued that were living in the most inhumane of conditions. One of the animals actually died while they were doing this, trying to get these dogs rescued or whatever. So I want you guys to know you'll live a really good life. And if I ever had an opportunity to do anything good, I promise I want to do it with animals. What? That sounds so... I want to work with the animal shelters. I swear, that is very, very important to me. And no jokes about that. Anyways, not even relevant to what's going on. So this is the end of the video and also the start of a new week. So it's going to be hopefully a good week, but I got to be honest, it's already starting off pretty fucking crazy, and I can't even really go no further with that just yet. I promise though, there will be more on that this week. You betcha. I want to end this with a little story time. And I need to hurry up and eat before this gets cold. Oh, basically what I'm eating, little chicken biscuits with a quarter piece of cheese on each one. So good. Chicken biscuits for breakfast, nothing better. Except for French toast sticks. Those are really good too. So yesterday, you've seen that Damon and I, we were over at the flip house, cleaning up, getting ready for the appraisal. Well, after we got done with that, me and my wife, we would end up at this local place that we go to watch the football games. It was Kansas City versus the Bengals. It was the 49ers versus the Rams. Sadly, we wouldn't even make it to the 49ers versus the Rams game because I was sloshed. I mean, I was crumbled up like some crumbled cheese by the end of the first game. I drank way too much, and I hate that. I truly do. I'm getting ready, and I'm making no jokes about this. I'm getting ready to practice dry February. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I'm gonna make it dry February. I got to. And it's not that I'm drinking a lot, but it's when I'm drinking, I drink a lot, if that makes any sense. I only drink like once a week, maybe twice. Like on the weekends is the only time that I'm really drinking. But man, more and more lately, it's like I drink till I'm shit-faced. And I don't mean to do that. And it's crazy because every time that I do it, this isn't even what the story's about. This is not even what this, like my drinking problem. I don't even mean to do it. The crazy thing is I know that it's gonna happen. And I regret it before I even do it. Does that make sense? That's probably like what it's like dealing with addiction when you don't want to be addicted to drugs. How crazy is that? Boy, that's wild to think about. But anyways, that is how last night would end up going, unfortunately. But there was some wild ass stuff that took place in the between time. So we go to watch the first game, Kansas City versus the Bengals. I hate Patrick Mahomes. I hate the way that he walks. I hate the way that he talks. I hate the way that he cocks his neck when he walks. I got a bunch of videos on Twitter where I was frying him. And he's getting fried by the internet right now for his unbelievable lack of performance in the second half of yesterday's game. So, of course, I want to go root for Joe Burrow. Joe Burr, they've been referring to him as. And boy, hey, Joe Burrow, nice. I want to cheer for him, but we end up at the place and it is all Chiefs fans. They're literally having a Kansas City watch party. I walk in and I've never seen this many Kansas City fans in Virginia. And then I think to myself, the first thought that goes through my mind is, come on, man. Like, how long y'all really been some Kansas City fans? Is every one of y'all from Missouri? Isn't that where Kansas City's at? Or is it in Kansas? Why would it be called Kansas City if it's not in Kansas? We end up sitting there watching the game. We're sitting between a bunch of Kansas City Chiefs fans for sure. And I can't even cheer for Joe Burrow. They're like, come on, man, hey, it's all Kansas City in here. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, I don't really like your team. I mean, I respect your team. Great quarterback, or is he though? Gosh almighty, how you blow a 21-3 lead? How you blow that? That shit was like the Atlanta versus New England Super Bowl. The Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. Very close. Long story short, I'm watching the game. I want to bet. And I wanted to take Kansas City, right? As much as I don't like them, I was of the belief they're going to beat Cincinnati. I just need the point spread to become less than what it was. When we first got there, the point spread was -10. So Kansas City had to win by 10 or more. And then I'm trying to, you know, upload some funds to FanDuel, which is what I use. I like FanDuel a lot because you can bet in-game, and in-game the line changes all the time. For every play, the line changes, and I love it. It's pretty awesome. I will never make another bet pre-game. Now that you can use FanDuel, you bet when the game's taking place, and you gauge the momentum. That's my philosophy. It's been working for me a little bit. There's been plenty of times when it hasn't worked, but I've never really been doing it this way until recently. I did it last week and it worked. I won $30. I could have won $400, but I didn't lose anything. I still won 30 bucks. And yesterday, as this game was taking place, the line went from -10 for Kansas City. I can't get my money to upload. There's no internet connection or whatever. So then my wife would actually use her card to get the money uploaded, and it worked. By the time we got the money uploaded, the spread was minus 18.5 points. I said, there ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm taking Kansas City to beat Joe Burrow by 19 points. It's not going to happen. I said, all I need is for Kansas City to get down the field, score. This is early in the game now. Get down the field and score. Do anything. Because right now the score was 14-0 or maybe it was like 21-0. It was 21-0, I think. Cincinnati drives down the field. They get a field goal. They settle for 3. The line drops to 14. And then I think to myself, I'm like, they're playing in Kansas City, Kansas. All momentum is against Joe Burrow and them Cincinnati Bengals. It's so loud in there, they can't hear anything. Kansas City is clearly the favorite. They're favored by a landslide. And I just got to thinking, I said, you know what? What if? What if Cincinnati can run with these folks? So instead of taking Kansas City, I took Cincinnati plus 14. I said, they gotta at least fight. This is a chance for the Super Bowl. Cincinnati hasn't been there since 1989 or some shit. They gotta fight. They got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow looked nice last week. And then they got the best kicker in the league, the rookie, Evan McPherson. Evan McPherson. That mug is a rookie, and he's 10 for 10 in the playoffs. In the playoffs? Maybe that's all year. These chicken biscuits, though, delightful. I put a whopping $50 on Cincinnati getting 14 points. My $50 bet stood to win me $93. Nothing major. But I make a safe bet to cover my extreme bet. Last week we put $50 on Tampa Bay. They were getting beaten bad. They were getting some points. I can't remember what it was. I put $50 on that. That paid out like, oh God, I can't remember, like 80 bucks or some shit like that. And then we bet the extreme bet, $50, that Tampa Bay would just win straight up while they were getting punished. And if we would have won, the money line, which I don't even understand what that is, was plus like 350 or some shit like that. So we were going to win from $50. Our profit would have been like $350 or 300 bucks. So I stood to win over $400 on that game. But of course, Tampa Bay came back and tied the game up. They would lose on the very next drive. So instead of winning 400 plus, I won $30. That was my profit. 30 bucks. Something like that. Anyways, we made the extreme bet last night as well, which was while Cincinnati was getting their doors blown off right before halftime, Kansas City's about to score again. They're at the 1 yard line. I'm like, my wife said, you know what, fuck it. Take Cincinnati to win straight up. The money line was plus $1,100. A $50 bet paid out $600. So, wouldn't you know, that last drive at the end of the first half, Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs on the 1 yard line. It reminded me of the Super Bowl, New England versus Seattle. Why don't you just run the ball? The Seahawks should have ran the ball. So too should the Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs. But they didn't. They tried to throw that joint to Tyreek Hill, and Eli Apple shut that joint down. Boom! Stopped them on 4th and goal. From that moment, folks, the entire game, the complexion of the game changed entirely. In the second half, Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow would come back and tie the game up. Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs were held in check with not a fucking point scored until the end of the 4th quarter, when they would get the first points of the second half, a Fugazi field goal to tie the game up and take it to overtime. At this point, I've already almost gotten into a fight with one guy because I'm excited. I'm like, holy shit, Cincinnati tied it up. And the guy was like, come on, man. You in here with a room full of Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs fans. And I turned to the guy, and I mean, it was almost like a prison thing. I was like, come on, dog, for real. Your team's not even real. They're like make-believe. And he got heated about that shit. What you mean they ain't real? I said, what I mean is the second half, y'all ain't even scored a point. How you let these people come back? I feel like it's whatever year watching the Falcons and the and the Patriots playing the Super Bowl. Oh, he was heated behind that. But it was the truth. The game goes to overtime. The nice gentlemen who were sitting beside me, they were also Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs fans. And I said, hey, listen, how crazy would it be? Because now the stars are aligning. And everything happens for a reason. Any given Sunday, any team can win. I said, how crazy would it be? Last week, all I heard about was 13 seconds, my homeboy. I say my homeboy because that's what they're referring to him on Twitter as. All I heard was 13-second Mahomes. All he needs is 13 seconds. I said, how crazy would it be if y'all went out the same way y'all came in? How y'all did Josh Allen and those Buffalo Bills? Both teams should have the ball in overtime, the argument was, but that's not what the rules are. The rules simply state, each team gets the ball unless the first team that gets the ball, who won the coin toss, gets a touchdown. Then the shit's over. And that's how it ended. After 13 seconds were left in the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes drove down the field. They tied the game up, took it to overtime. They won with a coin toss and a touchdown. I said to these nice gentlemen, they were really nice. I bought these guys around after the game was over. I said, how crazy would it be if y'all went out the same way y'all came in? No bullshit. 13 seconds into overtime, Patty Mahomeboy threw a fucking pick. 13 seconds in. I'm telling you, man, stars be aligning and shit. When Joe makes bets, I'm like an oracle in the Matrix. I be bending spoons and shit with my mind. I'm kidding. I feel good that I won. Cincinnati would get the ball back. They would drive down to the 9-yard line. They got Evan McPherson. Lights out, 10 for 10. Field goal kicker rookie. Sealed the deal. I almost threw a chair.
$700 on the line right now.
Oh my God!
$700. From my boy right here. What the shit? Baby, we done did it! No!
It reminded me of that time when I was in prison and I told the story about that game. Matter of fact, it was the Seahawks and Patriots Super Bowl game. I'll never forget that. So I won like a total of $693 off of a $100 bet. And that was pretty fucking awesome, considering I don't feel like I win too often. And hey, that was a nice little come up right there. So shout out to Cincinnati first and foremost, who are playing the LA Rams in the Super Bowl. But I want to see Cincinnati win. Joe Burrow, they're going to win. That's my prediction right now. Put all your crypto, listen, don't take financial advice from me ever, but that's just my prediction. Anyways, that's all I got, folks. Hey, look, it's the start of a crazy week here. It's literally Monday at 9:30. It's already crazy. I need to wrap this video up because I got a lot of shit that I got to try to get done this week. And ain't no telling how this week is about to play out. I want to thank y'all for taking the time to rock with me on this video. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm going to end this just so I can start working on more stuff to share with you guys this week. Have a great one. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk with you again real soon.